My name is Ava Gallegos. I'm 13 years old, I live in San Francisco, California, and I go to Alta Vista Middle School. Now, that sentence sounds normal, but I could add one phrase to that sentence that could change your whole perspective of me. So let's add that phrase. Hello, my name is Ava Gallegos. I'm 13 years old, I live in San Francisco, California, I go to Alta Vista Middle School, and I am 4 feet 6 inches tall. Some of you may know this. Some of you might see me and just think, oh, Ava, she's short, which is of course true. But I always try to avoid it in conversation. I'm not sure what other people really see me as, but I will be sharing my most recent experience of when someone expressed their opinion out loud. Scene, Friday, September 8th, 2017. My callbacks for ACT's production of A Christmas Carol. Of course, you might not know what a callback is. The short definition is a second audition with more people. I didn't have anyone I knew personally in the crowd, so after I signed in, I went to a corner to read. I sat for a bit and then my name was called for singing. I went in, thought I did badly, came out. Later my name was called for one-by-one scenes. They wanted to make a line outside. So there we were with a selection of other kids performing the same scene as you. For the most part, I was waiting outside with obnoxious little girls. I looked to the left to see a girl about my height standing alone, so I walked over to her. I asked her if she was bored. She said yes. We continued to chat about our lives in school. It felt nice considering I had no one to talk to at first. We didn't ask names because we had name tags, but for this story, her name is Phoebe. We got to the dreaded question of age. She told me she was 10. I was telling myself to lie. Tell her you're 10 as well. Then she couldn't say anything offensive. Though before I could think anymore, I told her I was 13, but not to mind it. Eventually, her name was called. The rules were that you had to stay in the hallway if you were told by the judges. After she went, I was called. I went in confident, mostly. I came out to see Phoebe standing there. I was flattered she waited for me. We walked back to the main room. I went over to the corner to continue reading. About 5 seconds passed before I felt a tap at my shoulder. I looked up to see Phoebe standing in front of me. I was a little startled, but I told her to sit and we continued chatting. About a minute later, my name was called for dancing. We went into the room and we went into our separate character groups. When I looked around at the other people in my group, they were so much younger than me. I tried not to think about it. I told myself, you're so much better than them. The judges may have put me in a group with a bunch of 5-year-olds, but they didn't mean to offend me. I thought to myself, I finished dancing and tiredly walked over to Phoebe's seat. Unlike me, Phoebe had a friend to talk to already. I sat in the seat next to her. I looked over to see her friend. Her name is Ray. Phoebe looked at her friend and asked her how old she thought I was. I was questioning why she asked her that. When I met Phoebe, I didn't want my age and height to be a huge thing. Before Ray could answer, Phoebe blurted that I was 13. Ray was shocked. I was hurt by the expression she gave. I honestly didn't want me being older than I looked to be a huge thing. Whether I'm with other people or simply by myself, I'm constantly reminded that I'm short. Imagine this, Monday morning, I wake up, but I don't want to get up. After my 5th alarm goes off, I get up, annoyed by my alarms. I look around my room. God, I really need to clean my room, maybe in 5 years. I walk towards my dresser and start picking out my outfit. Ugh, my clothes are children's sizes. I'm hardly even a woman small. I get dressed and head to the bathroom. I look in the mirror to remember that I only see my head. Wow, I'm so short I can't even see my body in the mirror. I brush my teeth, then I head for the kitchen, ready to make my lunch. I go to my fridge, then look up. The fridge is basically double the size of me. That's sad. I get my stuff together, and my mom and I head to BART. I look at all the adults around me, all in different shapes and sizes. I take a peek at the smaller people around me, and I think about how they might interpret their day, and I wonder how they went about their lives as children. Then I see the one person on BART that looks like a 6-foot, 6-inch giant. I feel worse about myself. I get to school and it's a new setting. Throughout my school day, the following list of things have a pretty good chance of happening. First, someone pats me on the head, which makes me feel like I'm shrinking. Second, I make eye contact with a person 3 years younger than me, making me remember that I can pass as someone their age. Thirdly, I'm doing a project in a class and I need a material that is beyond my reach. And lastly, and most commonly, being called up to write on the board, but the starting area of where I need to write is at the top of the whiteboard, so I have to get a chair. My school day ends and I have nothing planned for the afternoon. I walk towards the bus stop only worried about one thing. I'm always worried about if some adult is going to come up to me and ask me where my parents are. I I get home, let my dog outside, do homework, get ready for bed, go to sleep, not ready for the next day to repeat itself. I've had to deal with so many people slowly breaking me apart, taking away the nice person I could have been. Simply by saying I look like a 5th grader makes me feel like I'm nothing. But no matter how many times I pray to God, no matter how many stars I wish upon, I'm never going to grow that much. I've always cherished the small times I've been taller than my peers, like when I'm standing on a chair and they're sitting. I've never found much to like about being short. There are always the small things, like being able to navigate through crowds easily, but passing through the taller beings in my life make me seem like an ant surrounded by redwood trees. That's why I love my friends, though. They acknowledge me like there's nothing wrong with me. They treat me like I look just like them, even if I'm looking up to them while they're looking down at me. I'm glad to have people around me that don't care whether I'm a dwarf or a giant, but just to know that they appreciate me for me, no matter how far down they have to look to talk to me. It's difficult to live a normal life when you look different than everyone else. So if you know someone that is different, remember to appreciate them for what they do in life and not just what they look like.